Good afternoon, everybody. Mid-80s, September 18th, 2017. It's time for another edition of Weber This Week. Today, we have our fitness outfits on. Well, I don't have it on, but two of our guests have it on today. We welcome in the fine folks from CrossFit Submerged down in beautiful Penn Yan, New York. Stacie Youngs, co-owner, along with being a coach, is here to talk about the business. And also my friend Megan Peter is in, who is probably considered a, CrossFit athlete, since she spends a lot of her time, when she has spare time, at that complex. And first off, Stacie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. And Megan, always good seeing you. It's good to have you here as well.
Thanks.
So let's get right to it. Of course, let's remind everybody that we are expecting another coach who I had talked to. I never met her. Name was Chelsea Morse. She's involved working at a school district, and she couldn't get away, and we understand that with school just opening up a couple of weeks ago. So Chelsea, if you're checking us out later on your internet service or whatever you check us out on, I feel bad you didn't make it, but I will definitely be coming down at a particular time before winter to see Megan and everybody in the fitness center, and I will certainly meet you then. So, without further ado, Stacie, talk a bit about your background, if you would be starting off, and a little bit about where you were born, where you went to school, and how you ended up becoming a co-owner of CrossFit Submerged.
Well, if you really want to know where I was born, I was born in Geneva.
Geneva.
Yes, and I started doing CrossFit a few years ago and took over with a bunch of people about a year ago. And then about the beginning of this year, I started coaching and haven't looked back. It's been great. It's been fun.
Now, as far as the other owners involved with CrossFit, tell us their names.
We have Cindy Gillette, we have Bruce Alcott, Jen Hines, myself, and obviously Chelsea Morse is a huge factor with us.
Now, were you sitting around having a cup of tea or a cold beer or ice water when you decided as a group to get involved in owning this facility? How did it all come about?
Nope. It was kind of all put together. There used to be a CrossFit. Then all of a sudden there wasn't a CrossFit in Penn Yan, and we were at that CrossFit together, and we're like, okay, how can we make this work so that we can continue to have CrossFit for our community?
Now, you mentioned CrossFit as the topic. So CrossFit is, give us to our viewers, a little background of the term CrossFit.
The background of it?
As far as, you mentioned, you're waiting to hear about CrossFit and you're referencing CrossFit.
It's functional movements.
Bingo.
And we do all sorts of things. Crazy things, not so hard things that people think, but we do wall balls, we do tire flipping, we do simple things like squats and sit-ups and push-ups, and it's just functional movements.
Well, I certainly don't have to ask Megan Peter what she does on her spare time, because before we get to Megan and her views, as she is a big supporter of CrossFit Submerged. The reason I say that is myself and Megan, as you all know, we formed a friendship some time ago, maybe a year or so. I can't remember exactly when we became friends. At the courthouse in Waterloo, as I watched her and the Mark Sankiewicz do their thing along with Barry Porsche, etc. But when I got to know Megan, and I requested to be a friend of hers on Facebook, as we both are. And Megan, unlike many people who friend me on Facebook, took her normal 3.5 months to do some diagnosis and do some research on my background. And she finally agreed. Just kidding. She quickly replied that she would be my friend. And where I'm going with this long story is that you'd be impressed, Stacie, being one of the co-owners, is, as you know, when you get friended, they send you the bio and some information about their family and their work. And they also include a lot of photos. Well, I think Megan Peter, with all due respect, has got to have hundreds and hundreds of photos on her Facebook page, which I love. Because what I do is I go down and I look and go, that's her dad, and that's her mom, and that's her brother. And I go, let's see. And then I see her in cocktail sessions where she's out having good times with friends. But then I also see tons and tons and tons of pictures of this workout area called CrossFit Submerged. And it caught my attention, Megan, and I was enamored to think, oh my God, she spends so much time in your center doing her workouts, et cetera, et cetera. And I was struck by it, and I thought, my God, she really loves this, to do this, or she wouldn't post this many pictures, obviously. And it's obviously a passion of hers. We're going to get to why it's a passion of hers, but that's why I investigated to have you come up here to talk about it, because you spent a lot of time on your Facebook page portraying your work ethic and getting physically fit, and talk a bit about, you've always been a physical fit person relative to way back when, you're based on your age, and how did the CrossFit become part of your life in daily, weekly life, I guess?
Yeah, so I've been a runner for a really long time, since my teenage years, and then back in 2013, I was introduced to the idea of CrossFit, and I thought I would check it out, and it totally transformed the way that I think about physical fitness. So it, first of all, the atmosphere there is so supportive. So you go to a class, and no matter what level you're at, there are people there cheering you on, trying to get you to do better. And when you feel like you can't do anymore, they're helping you get just like one more set or one more rep. So it's definitely that kind of community that really drew me and keeps me coming back day after day and week after week to CrossFit Submerged.
Just a general idea, on a weekly basis, how many trips do you make there? Do you go in the morning and at night after work or before work?
It depends on my schedule. I prefer to work out in the morning, so you will generally find me at the 6 a.m. class.
Wow.
But occasionally, if I can't make it, I'll switch it up with a 5:30 class, which I can get to after work, so once I drive home, yeah.
Wow, and that means the 6 o'clock class means you're getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
No, but yeah, I'm up pretty early.
Wow. Well, I mean, you look at Megan, and obviously she's in physically fit, and that's what you, I'm sure, admire many other things about her. But to me, that's dedication to spend as much time, and that she loves it and she's involved in it. She's obviously not a beginner at this, so she's something that you can say, hey, this is what some people really get into, and that's what you love about your CrossFit Submerged.
Absolutely. And like she was saying, the support, like I can remember we just did the Murph. It's called the Murph. And it's one of the workouts. And she was out there running after she did her 1 mile run, come back and do 300 squats, 200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups. We do another mile run. And she's out there running with people, myself included, to finish their last mile with them. And that's what CrossFit is about, is being there and supporting each other, and, not to be intimidated by it. That just sounded like a lot of stuff, but it's not. You break it up into manageable sets, and you get through it, and you get through it with everybody else that's there. Mm-hmm.
I guess the obvious question would be pointed toward Megan, since you are a regular there, and you obviously keep yourself in great shape, and that's a tribute to you. Regarding a friend of yours or somebody who has never really been into a fitness center, and they're a little nervous and scared, you tell them what? You tell them be relaxed. It's just going to go based on your speed and ability to handle, correct?
You're 100% right, Doug. So anytime you go into CrossFit, the trainer will work with you, and they'll kind of assess where you are, and they can modify any workout that they have to whatever your skill set is. So one thing we do a lot of is called double unders. That's where you have to get a jump rope under your legs twice for each time you're jumping up and down. Well, it takes a long time to get there, so they'll modify and help you do, just do regular jumping rope, and they'll try to get you up and help build your technique so eventually you can do double unders too. And they do that with absolutely everything. Another big thing that we do is called box jumps. So you're jumping up onto a certain level box. Well, in the beginning, it's really intimidating and it's hard to do. So they help, and they'll start you off by jumping on plates and work up until you get your confidence, until, like Stacie and I, you're jumping on a 24-inch box on a regular basis.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Or you can just do a step up, or people can't, they just choose not to do that. They have ankle problems or whatever, and, you just modify.
So when somebody starts off, and whether you be the coach or whether Chelsea, and by the way, Chelsea Morse was due to come in today to join Megan and Stacie, but she got some school responsibilities, and we recognize that. So we do miss you, Chelsea, and we look forward to seeing you when I come down to visit down the road. But as far as, somebody, I would think the awe of the sometimes going in and not sure of themselves, whether it be male or female, and they want reassurances that they're not doing too much. And like Megan just pointed out, caution is the big concern, right? Be sure that you're only letting them do what they can handle.
Yes, CrossFit is high intensity workout.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
you are starting off slowly. You're not going to start off doing what
Yep.
we're doing that we've been there 2 or 3 years.
Right.
We start you off slowly. We make sure you can do the movements. We go through a squat with you, and we make sure that you can do that squat, and then we add weight to that squat. A front squat, overhead squat, back squat. But you have to have that fundamental. You have to be able to do a regular squat first, and there is a right way and a wrong way to do a squat. So, and with everything, with every movement, we're making sure that you're able to do that correctly before we add on something else.
And by the way, Jim pointed out, to make sure I bring this up on the show, the uniqueness of the name, and that's why I've invited them up to come up because of Megan Facebook friending me with her photos. I went, wow, a lot of photos. I got to check this place out. And so you'll get your check in the mail, by the way, for giving me the opportunity to bring these folks up, Stacie up. But I was, thinking about this. The reason it's called CrossFit is one thing, but the Submerged, and Megan, let's give you a chance to understand why that was added, because of the flood in 2014.
Yeah, so where we work out our CrossFit gym space in 2014, there was a major flood in Penn Yan, and many people's homes were destroyed. And our CrossFit gym is actually in the bottom of a Masonic lodge, and it flooded up to the ceiling. It was like 9 feet deep, and all our equipment was flooded in that, and then it took a lot of effort, and the whole CrossFit gym came together and really helped clean everything and make it so that we could use it again. It was sort of like a rebirth of our CrossFit gym. So
wow, amazing. So now I was mentioning to Stacie out in the parking lot before you arrived, Megan, regarding Tough Mudder. Now I noticed that is a term that I see, and I used to pick on you. Well, I always pick on you, but when I saw you up in the mountains, seemed like you were up there, I don't know, climbing trees, maybe working out or trying to become Tarzan's Jane or something. It seemed like you had mud on your face and mud on your hands and mud on your ears. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So explain to our audience what a Tough Mudder program is. What is that?
Yeah, so a Tough Mudder is a race. I've done 4 of them now, and I have to say it's one of the most fun things I've ever done. It's about 10 miles to each course, and there's 20 different obstacles that you go through in, and you do get very, very muddy. And a lot of the obstacles require a lot of upper body strength. And I really think before I started CrossFit, I never would have had the courage to try and attempt something like that. But as I've gotten stronger through doing CrossFit, it's really helped give me that confidence to do things like the Tough Mudder and to challenge myself.
It's pretty amazing. Have you ever done a Tough Mudder too?
I have not.
Is that something?
I would love to do one.
Yeah. Well,
it's on my bucket list.
I know. Hey, now you mentioned you might have 20 members so far since you took over. To our viewers that are checking us out down in the Penn Yan area, we hope there are a few that are checking us out today on the Weber Show. We thank Stacie Youngs for coming up, one of the co-owners, along with my friend Megan Peter, who's an active member of that CrossFit Submerged. As far as a membership for your CrossFit, is the value is how much going to cost somebody to come in and get a membership?
Well, it varies. So
Okay.
we have where you can come 2 times a week. That gives you Saturdays for free. That's $85.
Okay.
We have a 3 times a week membership at $110, and that's also Saturdays are free for you. So that's actually essentially 4 days a week.
Okay.
And then we have unlimited, which is $130, but we have multiple discounts.
Okay.
We just added a few too. So if you're a local business owner, if you work at the school, if you work at the hospital, we have discounts for you. And if you mention the show,
Right.
we have a discount for you.
Right.
Hey, mention the Weber Show right now. We're Jimmy's putting up some pictures too that I sent him, that you sent to me, relative to CrossFit. So we'll be
Bruce
flipping
and
through.
Jen and Chelsea.
So we'll be flipping through some of that stuff that we get a chance to see. It's kind of a neat idea. It's as far as people that been dedicated, like Megan mentioned, she's up and out getting there at 6 a.m. because she has obviously important work to get to, like everybody has an important job one way or another, depending on the field they're in. But it's got to give you satisfaction to see the people that were apprehensive at the beginning maybe, but have worked it out, got a program that they're comfortable with, worked with a coach to be able to do X number of things without getting themselves in pain and distress. But when they feel better down the road, they must come up to the coaches or to Megan, who's a veteran at this, say, you know what, I'm glad I stuck it out, right? I mean, that's got to happen, right?
Oh,
People
yeah,
get
even with
involved.
ourselves, yeah.
You know, they get involved. They feel good that they've done this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as far as somebody coming off the street mentioning price, somebody comes off the street and wants just to go in and work out and be a part of that for, let's say, a half a day they're in town. What would the cost of that be?
We have $15 drop-in.
Okay.
Or you can buy a shirt.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
And then if you want to just check it out and you just want to drop in for one time just to check it out to see if you want to be a member, we don't charge you for that.
That's nice. That's a nice touch. And I got to say, with all due respect, that, you mentioned there are some other complexes in the Penn Yan area that compete against you basically for those types. But I would certainly, when I get marveled at looking at photos of a fitness area, CrossFit Submerged, it entangled my thought process to bring her up and to bring Megan in along with Chelsea at the time. And I think you guys, if you're watching me today, give it a shot. I know, if you're down in the Penn Yan area, it's not that far, and certainly take advantage of the opportunity of stopping in. And I look forward to coming down and checking it out. Really do. So we're going to set this up.
Okay.
Definitely going to set this up. Yep, we're going to have to check with Megan's schedule because she will buy me breakfast. And I will take photos of that money being exchanged. Listen, this is Weber This Week. It's about 17 after. We got much more to talk about with Stacie Youngs, one of the co-owners, and Megan Peter, one of the CrossFit athletes. We'll continue. But let's hear from the great sponsors that make this show possible. Acting as a gateway to the Finger Lakes, Del Lago leverages the natural beauty and unique offerings while enhancing tourism in the region. The casino features 2,000 slot machines, 89 gaming tables, including 12 poker tables, portico by Fabio Viviani, a 2,400-person entertainment center, farmers market buffet. The hotel, spa, and banquet facility will open summer 2017. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. The Gold Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the Maggie Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at MaggieDiner.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Welcome back, everybody. It's a dog with you on a beautiful Monday. Hard to believe. Talking mid-80s the rest of the week, like 7 days out. And Megan had a good comment. We didn't have this kind of weather in June, where you would expect it.
I know.
But here we are in September, and they're talking 83 to 86 degrees all the way through Sunday. Nice. Nice for golfing. For you folks that kept your pool open, my daughter Sam did in Geneva. Way to go, Sam. And they were just splashing there over the weekend. We went to a party at her house, and I hope you kept your pool open, because if you did, you're going to be in glory this week. But hey, A couple of things to pass on before we get back to Megan and Stacie Young. Megan Peter, along with Stacie Youngs, one of the co-owners of CrossFit Submerged down in beautiful Penn Yan, where I used to spend a lot of time down there back in the old radio days. I used to drive down there to do some football and basketball games. Always a nice trip. Just a couple of things. The Maggie Diner, my buddy Gary Schlegel out at Maggie, good friend, good sponsor. We thank him for his business and the sponsor of my show. Just so you know, if you're a Del Lago Resort and Casino card holder, which means you get points by going to the casino, etc., you can use that card at the Maggie Diner. Phenomenal food over there. So you just go, got points on your card, you have a sandwich or breakfast or dinner, have anything, you go up to the waitress or the lady cashing you out or the man cashing you out, and they swipe your card. So you pay by that and just leave a cash tip. Kind of a neat idea. So Maggie Diner's got it, has had it for a while. I want to plug that this morning or this afternoon. And just a reminder, you can use your Del Lago Resort and Casino player's card. Another thing, our friends out at Seneca Metals, I want to remind everybody they always have these events, and they got one coming up next weekend, the DIY Wild Grass Arranging. Yes, you have the talent. We have the wild grasses. Come make an amazing wild grass arrangement for your dining room table, your entry hall table, or anywhere else in between. Demonstration pictures, pruning shears, and twine are provided. To register, give a call to 315-539-5624. Seneca Metals Wetlands Preserve on Blockbrook Road in Seneca Falls. It's coming up Saturday, this coming Saturday, September 23rd at 11 a.m. And it's a free, no charge program type, will be family. So that is coming up at Seneca Metals. Check it out if you would like. Well, let's go back and talk to Stacie and Megan as we got about 7-8 minutes left in our program. Talk about age now. There's really no requirements, correct, as far as people of any age can come in with an adult, etc., and help out, work out?
Upper teens. But then, as far as, we have people in our 60s that come. Don't let it stop you.
Right.
We can modify things for you, and some things we don't even need to modify, even if you are in your 60s. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get intimidated by CrossFit. They see all the barbells out and people lifting and
right.
All these different movements that are new, and they seem scary and challenging. But I think that one of the great things about CrossFit Submerged is how inclusive everybody is and how awesome the trainers are. So even if you are 50 years old and you want to try and you're in great physical shape, or even if you're not, the environment there is just so friendly and so supportive that the trainers make sure that you can do it. So I would really want to encourage people to not be intimidated, even though you're doing things that are new to you.
And by the way, you mentioned during the commercial break, in case somebody had an injury or a hip issue and it's been taken care of medically, this does not stop somebody from going and doing a limited role and continuing to work out.
Absolutely not. We have people that have had injuries or had to have hip replacements, and they are still there and they are still going strong. So don't let it stop you, because we can modify everything.
And Megan, that's a good touch, because a lot of people think, well, they just had maybe a hip replaced, and down the road when they're getting back on the men, that should not preclude them from taking part.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
At a limited role,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you listen to your body, you work with the trainers, and you make sure that it works for you, I mean, I think one of my favorite things about CrossFit is that every day is different. So every day you go to the gym, you're doing some new type of workout, some variation, and you never get bored. Sometimes the workouts are only 7 minutes long. I mean, they're boom, fast, quick, and over with. Sometimes they take 45 minutes. Every day is just a new challenge and a new way to think about fitness. And I think that's one of the cool things, too. You don't have to go to the gym for an hour every single day to become physically fit. The way that CrossFit trains your body, some days you do things that are, shorter. Some days you do things that are longer, and you just keep trying every day.
And you will leave a sweaty mess every time.
Yes, you will.
Even at 7 minutes.
Well, I was stunned. I want to go visit them before the year is out, before the snow comes. It's not a good drive for me anyways. But I was kidding them about going down, and during the commercial break, Megan and Stacie mentioned about having pancakes, and I didn't know you two physically fit women would have pancakes. So you said, Megan, you can have the pancakes because you work it off.
Absolutely. We go to CrossFit Penn Yan so that we can eat the pancakes at the Penn Yan Diner, which are our favorite.
Sounds like they are. So if I come sneaking down to Penn Yan, I'm not going to see you and Megan and a few of your other friends having a dozen wings on a Wednesday night.
Oh, no, never.
Never.
With a few beers, no. That wouldn't happen.
Hey, made my day, so we'll have to schedule it. Well, I think it's interesting. Let's talk about, before we run out of time, been with Stacie Youngs this half hour, along with Megan Peter, representing the CrossFit Submerged Fitness Center down there in Penn Yan. And your address on Penn Yan, is it, where you guys located exactly?
129 East.
129 East Street. And talk a bit about your Facebook. They can get a hold of you by looking at the Facebook.
Yeah, we have CrossFit Submerged on Facebook, and we have CrossFitSubmerged.com. You can look us up there as well.
Very good. And again, I think it's. I hope that some people watching my show that maybe down in the Penn Yan area have never been there, or maybe once, and go back and give it a shot, because it sounds like not only Megan has applauded what they're doing, and or she would be partaking, and of course Stacie's got a nice crew there. I think with your help, you can go and check it out and support them, and I think it's going to be wonderful. And I look forward, obviously, personally to see it. I don't think I'm going to do 100 push-ups.
We won't make you do 100 push-ups.
We
wouldn't make anybody do 100 push-ups.
I think, Megan, I might fantasize doing 98 and then do 2 and then do 2 in front of you so you can photo it and send it out.
Sounds like a plan, dog.
Weber this week has done push-ups, and there's only 2. But no, I think it's great. I think I cannot say enough about what you brought to the table here today. I think, we miss Chelsea, and we're going to send off our best to her. But I definitely think you got the right thing working. And
thank you.
You can praise Megan for me thinking about
Yes.
CrossFit, because when I saw all those photos, I said, there's got to be something to this place. I mean, I like the look too, by the way. A lot of fitness areas that literally I have got friends that have gone, and I've gone to do some remotes way back when in the radio days, to do remotes at a fitness center where I would interview the owners and some of the participants. They were more modernization. It looked more, more. Everything was pristine. However, having never been to your facility, that's why I want to go see it live and in person. It looks to me like it's not that look, and I love that look.
It's very rustic.
Like that.
It's super basic, and
I like that.
That's because a lot of the things you're just using your own body for, and challenging yourself with that, and then it just uses a lot of other really basic tools to help you get in shape. There's not
a lot of machines.
No, there's no treadmills or anything like that.
We have a GHD machine. We have a rower. Otherwise, we have what's called the rig, and that's where you do your pull-ups, your toes-to-bar, your knees to elbows, your rope climbs, and then we have our weights.
Well, I saw one term that Megan posted during checking out her Facebook page as we communicate back and forth. I noticed that she referenced the term of burpees. Now, I've had the burpees after a couple of beers. I just wonder, could somebody tell our viewers what a burpee is?
Oh, my goodness.
What is a burpee?
It's an old-fashioned squat thrust, essentially.
Okay. That's what it is.
I feel like Megan should demonstrate.
Should I do one?
Could you?
I will. I will absolutely do a burpee. I don't know where I should do one.
Well,
right here.
Yeah. All right, good.
So you stand.
Yep.
Down to the floor, chest down, and jump up.
Wow.
One more time, sorry.
One more time.
Oh,
All
goodness.
right, that's all right.
Ready?
And everybody, of course, loves them. Wow. They're everyone's favorite.
Oh, my God.
After about 10 of them.
You do 10 of them?
You do a lot more than 10 of them sometimes.
And if it's your birthday, you might have to do birthday burpees.
That's right.
Wow. Well, I was intrigued by that term, and we had it live in the studio. That's pretty nice. So thanks, Megan, for showing us right up close and personal. That's great.
Anytime.
Well, listen, as we part away, as the show becomes, obviously we're getting out of here in a minute or two, I just want to thank you again for coming in, and I appreciate it. Hoping it's worth the drive up from Penn Yan to visit us and be a part of our show, and hope to have you come back sometime, and I hope that we can arrange that when I come down. I'd like to see you and the rest of the folks when we're visiting.
Yes, that'd be fun.
That'd be neat. And Megan, as usual, thank you for coming
you so
in,
much.
and look forward to seeing you maybe someday in court, and if not, somewhere else down the road. And I'm sure we'll see the Child Advocacy Center coming up soon. So.
Absolutely. Our grand opening is September 28th. So
nice. Look forward to being there. All right. So, hey, again, folks, it's been a pleasure to talk about this fitness, and I certainly would send kudos out to Megan and to Stacie for taking time out to come in and talk about it. It's really unique, and I'm looking forward to actually being there physically to watch it, to see it, to check it out. And but I think, if you're down checking me out on fingerlakes1.com, we thank you for joining the Weber Show. And again, if you're in the Penn Yan area, stop in, check it out, become a member. You never know, baby, it could improve your physical fitness. There's nothing quite like that. So speaking for Meg and Peter, along with Stacie Youngs, we thank them for coming in to Weber this week. And next week, we're bringing up a young lady who's on 5 and 20. Yeah, she's a little bit nervous. Liz Kamadas is the manager of Abigail's. Liz, out on 5 on 20, it's been there since 1984. She's actively involved in coming up with some new ideas. Maybe some all-you-can-eat chicken wings and all kinds of good things. You got entertainment on Thursday night. Liz Kamadas will be on the chair next week talking about her role with Abigail's Restaurant. Take care, everybody. For Stacie and for Megan, this is the dog bidding you a very pleasant afternoon.